Welcome guys. So in this lecture, let's see how to handle tables in Selenium. Okay. So specifically HTML5 tables. So let me go back to the browser, and here let me show you a table and how it looks like. Okay. If you want to practice, you can just go to this crickbus.com. You will get lots of exercises for practice. Here select live scores, and maybe you can select one which the match is already completed. Here it says Pakistan won, right? You can select this. Okay, so here select the scorecard and you will be landed onto the page where you have a set of tables to practice. Okay, so tomorrow this link may not work. At that time, just do these navigations and find out the latest table based upon that specific month cricket match. Okay, so here my goal is to get the list of all the runs scored by each and every individual from Sri Lanka. Okay, so here 51, 19, 32, 1, 3. I want list of all these, and I want to sum up all the runs, and I want to match it with the total 124. Okay, so basically the task given for me is to see whether this total calculation is working properly or not. That you have to validate. So for that you need to sum up all this, and finally you have to compare with your total. So let's see how to do that. Okay, so this is little a tricky part what we are going to learn in the coming lectures starting from this. Okay, but it's not hard. Okay, it's just a tricky part. Let's try to understand the tricky concept and play this around to get the count. Okay, so first thing, you have to get all this information, right? 51, 19, 32. You need to get that from your code. So one bad thing to do that is you have to spy it here and take the get text 51 and write a locator to get text 19, 32, 1. So for the 10 runs, that means for 10 batsmen, if you want to get this score, you have to write 10 locators and get the value. But that is the bad practice. Okay, so with single for loop, you have to grab this all the values. Okay, that's the way we code in real time. We will not just spy on and get the count of each and everything. So tomorrow, if there are 100 players here, I know cricket have only 11 players, but just assume that this could not be a table. This could be your example in your company. Okay, there are some transactions made by employer. It might be credit card transactions. There are 100 transactions. You have to count the each and every transaction money, which sums up to the total balance. Okay, in this case, you cannot write 100 locators, right? To get that, there should be some logic to get all these values. Okay, let's try to grab that first. So first thing first, if you carefully observe, all the batsmen runs are having same UI. So that means they look similar, isn't it? The way they are designed, 51 to 4, they all look similar. Okay, just the rows are changed, that's all. Okay, this is first row and this is second row and this is third row. Only rows are different, but the way they are looking here looks little almost same. So that means design is same for each and every batsman. So when we say design is same, it's nothing but there is a common CSS to all these values. Okay, so basically all these designs have been done by developer writing a CSS. Okay, with the help of CSS only, the developer develops all this UI. But as we are observing similar design for all these users, that means we can come to basic conclusion that there is one common CSS written by the developer for all these values. So if you are able to get that common CSS, then we can take that CSS into list and traverse through each and every index and get our value. Okay, this is our high level thought when someone asks you to sum up all the rows and give me the output. So that means each and every row is designed in a similar fashion. So when there is a similar fashion, then there is a similar CSS. Okay, you need to relate like this before you start scripting. You need to analyze something about that test by looking this UI. Okay, so let's confirm if there is a common CSS for all these or not. Okay, so just right click and say inspect. Let's do that in Chrome this time. So we have done lots of examples inspecting elements in Firefox, right? So let's inspect this exercise completely on Chrome without depending upon any Firefox or any other tools. Okay, so here you can inspect this first 51. So CB call A, text right, text bold is the class. Okay, let me select second one. Sorry. Again, CB call A, text right, text bold. So you see that class name is same for all the elements over there. Even 32 has same class name. So that means there is one weapon for us to do this practice exercise. There's one common CSS we'll try to do. But there is one catch here. So you need the list of only 51 to 4. But if you give that common CSS, you might get list of these second table also, isn't it? So even this looks similar and even this looks similar. If you inspect this, you see that even this has same class name. So how do you uniquely get the values from 51 to 4? Okay, so if you give that CSS and do into the list, you will get the values of the second table as well. And if there are any other tables, you will get information of all that. Okay, so how do you differentiate your CSS to get the values of only the first table? So that is another challenge for us. Okay, so if you come across like this, let me open Notepad to explain you something. Okay, my system is slow. Okay, so one common CSS and you are getting multiple tables. I will give you one scenario. From that scenario, we will try to get the solution for this problem. So there is a candidate called John in one school. So there is one more candidate, even his name is also John. So maybe even last name is also same, John C and John C. When there are two names in one class, so how do you differentiate a candidate uniquely? So that's the reason in every school or wherever you go, you will have one more field saying son of or father's name or mother's name. You will definitely have this field wherever you go, either you open a bank account or you open a credit card or you join in any academy. So wherever you go, son of or father of, you will have another field to identify that guy uniquely. Okay, so now we can say he's a son of some XYZ, but John C is a son of ABC. So in this way, you can uniquely identify these candidates. In the similar fashion, so here we are depending upon parent to decide child uniquely. Even here, to get our child elements uniquely, we have to depend upon parent object. Okay, now this table have one parent and this table have another parent. So if you write CSS by traversing from parent to child, in that way you will know point, you will never go to this another parent, right? You will obviously land in the same table. Okay, so give this common CSS, but you have to traverse it from the parent. So in this way, here itself filter happens, right? Start from this parent. So automatically this table will be vanished out and your control will be here. And thereafter, if you provide this common CSS, it will clearly get 51 to 4. Okay, so this is how you have to approach for this test case. So not only this, whenever someone gave you one scenario and ask you to design automation script, first you have to analyze that test completely and how it looks and what to do to get things uniquely. Okay, you should not blindly write an XPaths for each and every object and give the count. Okay, you should have some logic to write one loop and get the count of everything. So all right, so we have an idea of how to start scripting for this test. So in the next lecture, let's begin that. Okay, thank you.